This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cattitude. This is your show host, Michelle Fern. I have to tell you, I've been so excited about today's show. We're going to talk all about Sphinx cats, and we're going to talk to the pet parents of, I think they have like a whole family of Sphinx cats, and they have a very popular following on Instagram. They're gorgeous, and talk about the uniqueness of the Sphinx cat. So stay tuned. We're going to be right back.
It's designerpetsweaters.com. Hand-knitted designer sweaters for your precious pup or cool cat. Beautiful couture patterns for your pets, including custom-knitted formal wear, casual wear, yachting, and even sports-themed. Many designer pet sweaters include feathered tammy hats, top hats, and a lot of sparkle. Each sweater includes leg loops, front paw sleeves, and leash opening. Visit designerpetsweaters.com to order your four-legged fashions today. Large or small, we fit them all. designerpetsweaters.com.
Let's talk pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back, everyone. I'd like to welcome AJ and Sarah to Cattitude. Welcome, guys.
Hi, thanks so much for having us.
I want to tell you, I've been following, your Instagram is @thisisrosiekitty for a while. And I think she's adorable. She's a Sphinx cat. And for everybody listening, if you don't know, although if you're listening to Cattitude, you love cats, you should. Sphinx cats are hairless. There was something on one of your stories in Instagram where someone had this negative comment and you had written a reply. And I thought, wow, this would be great to have you on the show because I don't know how they could say that about Rosie. And I don't know. I was just so annoyed. I'm speechless, which is rare. It was upsetting to me, so I can't even imagine how you felt. And then I want to tell you, I have an adoration for Sphinx cats. I think they are incredible. I had one guest on the show quite a while ago. I am Mojo. He's a cat rapper, and he has about 3 or 4 Sphinx cats. So I talked with him a little bit. I don't know a lot about them. I want one. To me, they look like magical creatures. They don't look like they're like a cat. Like I'd have to see them do cat things to say, oh yeah, they're really a cat. You know, they're kind of in my head, they're on the same realm as unicorns, which is bizarre.
They are partly, magical. That's a perfect way to describe them. And honestly, just like a unicorn, it's one of those things that, you might see in fantasy or portrayed on TV. And until you meet one in real life, it is absolutely life-changing. There's really no other way to put how much having Sphinx cats has changed our lives. Mainly AJ's life. Actually, AJ was the one who several years ago, she came to me and she used to do a lot of volunteer work at our local humane society. And just there was something about cats that AJ really connected to, right? Mm-hmm. And funny enough, it was always the senior cats or the cats that had special needs. And unfortunately, at the time she's got a younger sister and we've got a rescue golden retriever who's a little bit older. So there was never really a right fit. A lot of the cats that AJ fell in love with, they needed to be the only pet in the home. And so, one day AJ came to me and she said, Mom, I'm really wanting to add a cat to our family. And, at the time I said, well, it has to fit our family. It would be really hard to introduce a cat that say needed to be the only cat in the family. And I said, listen, if you do a little bit of research and, maybe find there's a specific type of cat, we can reach out to the other shelters and really see what works. And so AJ did some research and came across
Sphinx cats.
And to be honest, when she first came to, me and her dad and said, okay, guys, I've done a lot of research and Sphinx cats. The truth was at first I thought, oh, well,
Well, the thing is, they're not only hairless, they have other unique features. They have like bulgy
Absolutely.
eyes. Their ears are like Yoda, right? They're like
Yes.
big, large ears.
It's large, exaggerated features that are, and unfortunately, in the media, they have been portrayed as the evil and the villains and mean. And think about the Friends episode where Rachel, she got a Sphinx cat, and Joey says, "Oh, that's inside out. That's not a cat." And what happens in the end of the episode? The cat, is mean and it scratches her up, and she has to go find another home for it. And unfortunately, other than that, what other media portrayals have there been? I mean, there's been Mr. Bigglesworth and Austin Powers, and he was the evil villain's, sidekick pet. And that's a hard thing to, when that's all you see. So when AJ first said it to me, I mean, my gut reaction was, really? I mean, are you sure that they just maybe not, might not be as friendly and a good fit for our family? And AJ had actually put together a
whole entire PowerPoint presentation.
Oh my gosh.
And all that stuff.
Oh yes.
Diagrams.
Yes. I mean, a full research analysis. And I promised, her dad and I promised, and I said, I promise to keep an open mind. If you really put this time and effort, and I trust, what you come up with, then of course we will openly listen to what you have to say. And honestly, it was like AJ had just dug up this gold treasure chest of information that completely changed my mind. I mean, what AJ came to me and said, was pretty much
like, Sphinx cats are really sweet cats. They're very social. And even though they require a lot of care, they're not like other cats that other cats may want to just hide under the bed and not come out. These cats they want to be with you and they want your attention, and they're very, very sweet.
Right. And, and I said, listen, okay, if you really put in the work and I promise. And so it just almost started this ball rolling. And really, I think what I want to be the main focus of people knowing about Sphinx cats is, you have these people, and this is the thing is, I know I had this one comment, and I almost never respond to negative comments just because I get so many of them.
Well, let's tell people, first of all, before we get into the comments, you adopted, your first Sphinx cat was Ollie.
Correct.
And then I know you had Snowy, which was a furry cat that unfortunately passed away.
Yeah, we got her from the shelter, and she was only with us for about 4 months. And unfortunately, when we went back to the shelter, we had found out a couple of her siblings, hadn't made it as well. So we just think it was a genetic.
Probably, issue. Yeah, nothing you could do, unfortunately. And then you went and adopted Rosie. So Ollie is gray colored and Rosie is pink.
She is, yes, exactly. She's considered a pink Sphinx, yes.
And then Poppy is the baby of Ollie and Rosie.
Correct.
Okay.
And we also have Figgy.
Okay, so you have 3 now.
We have 4.
4?
Yes.
I want one. I have 5, but they all have hair, and I want one. That's going to be one of my projects here. So we have a whole family. Okay, so now let's talk about dispelling some of these myths. Now, I know that they are very social and very sweet cats, which would I have a Maine Coon who's kind of like a dog. They say the dog of cats because he's very sweet and approachable and everything. But my other cats are not. They're like really have the cat personality. Mm-hmm. So I love a Sphinx cat because from what I understand, their personalities are just wonderful.
Yes.
Tell us now about that comment that you were talking about earlier.
Sure. Well, originally I'll say that as Rosie Kitty has gotten bigger, it was originally started, AJ, just as a gift for her from her dad and I. We got her a backpack with Ollie's picture on it. So when she went to school, she could sort of have her baby with her always. And truthfully, there was a couple times when she was bullied by other students, making fun. Ooh, you've got that ugly cat. And she would come home and say, Mom, people do say stuff about my backpack with Ollie's picture on it. But, I just say, well, if you guys met him,
he will change your life. Because I feel like that's how it is a lot of times is people look at them and they're just like, that looks like a not nice cat. But if you really meet one in person, it really is magical. they're so much more than what they seem.
Right. And so I said, listen, I just wanted to, for fun, start putting photos up of the cats because I thought there's got to be more people out there who we can show, right? That we can show that it's more than this just different appearance and maybe different to what you think. And so as it's gotten, a little bit bigger over time.
Wait, it's huge. 85,000, more than 85,000 followers. That's huge. I mean, you haven't written a book, you don't have a book out. You don't have another, a TV show or something.
No.
Rosie is not shown in any weird. I'm just saying there's other
right.
sites that are a little R-rated. You're not R-rated, obviously,
right.
So for 85,000, that's huge. That's huge.
Yeah. And I initially wanted to do it just to show AJ, listen, they are beautiful and loving and amazing to us. And maybe there are people out there that maybe thought that I did, and maybe thought, well, they're kind of strange and different looking, but then they see the videos and the photos and then it's like, well, wait, maybe they're not. Maybe that's not how they are in person. And, as it's gotten bigger and it's been, Cats of Instagram features, and whenever that gets featured, it's, just a slew of horrible comments. And actually Instagram featured one of her reels and it was like the floodgates unleashed of I can't even repeat some of the comments. It was so terrifying.
I can't even believe that. I'm hearing you and I don't doubt you at all.
Right.
I don't read my comments on my podcast. I remember one somebody wrote and they said, I sound like my voice is dry or something. I mean, my voice is my voice. I can't change my voice. What can I do? But I can't believe that. But I can believe,
Right. And it's honestly, the majority, because think about Instagram, right? It reaches everybody and anybody in all parts of the world. And for the most part, I would say majority of people still hold on to this unfair perception of Sphynx cats and just the level of the comment, not even like, ew, ugly, just truly, truly disturbing comments. And of course, I'm not reading through them. It's just, and I don't even have notifications turned on for Instagram, but it's like when you log on, that's kind of what floods when you're logging on. And obviously I talked to AJ about all of this and I went to her and I'm super upset and, and she's just like, Mom, you can't make everybody,
you can't let these people who they can't let go of the idea that Sphynx cats are mean cats just bother you, because even though it may upset you, that is just the way that they think. And sometimes no matter what you do, you just can't change their opinion. As long as you know that Sphynx cats are amazing and that they changed our lives, it shouldn't matter what anybody else thinks.
You are very wise.
She is literally, whenever I get super upset about some of these comments, and most recent, it was this one comment, and this person went through on a couple different of the posts, and ew, ugly, they look sick, ew, gross. And and again, I rarely, if ever, comment back, but it struck me because this person's profile photo was of them and their dog. And I thought to myself, okay, well, you're hugging your dog in this photo. And obviously, I don't know, maybe it's your dog or another dog that you're close to, but you have a pet that you care about. And it was so hard because I thought, well, just because your pet looks like a, normal dog, now you're going through and picking apart, Rosie and our kitties that literally mean the world to us. And for what? Because you have a dog that looks like,
normal dog. It's like just kind of strange that sometimes people don't understand that there's a real person behind the profile and the account with real pets that mean a lot to them.
So I just, I thought to myself, okay, well, I never respond. And my AJ always says, okay, Mom, they'll just
There's a lot of strange things out there.
Right.
But you know what? Today we're dispelling a lot of that. And we're going to talk more about your Sphynx family after this break. We'll be right back.
Hey
everyone. Michelle Fern here, your host on Best Bets for Pets and Cattitude. Ben and Jerry's has frozen treats for dogs. I know Nikki is going to love this. He loves a frozen treat. They have 2 different flavors. One is Punch's Mix, which is peanut butter and pretzel, and the other one is Rosie's Batch, which is pumpkin and mini cookies. You know, I kind of like both of those flavors too, but my absolute favorite is fish food. Anything Ben & Jerry's is always fabulous because the quality is so good and their mixes are so delicious. Be sure to check out more about these frozen dog desserts as well as pictures of all the caniners at the Ben & Jerry's Vermont office at benjerry.com. That's BENJERRY.com.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back, everyone. We're talking to AJ and Sarah about their Sphinx cats. And we were just talking about, the negative comments and this and that. I kind of think there's a lot of, unfortunately, ignorant people out there. And the best thing to do is educate, right? If people are ignorant, you educate them. And so that's what I want to do kind of in the second part of our show, because we were talking about the different personality of Sphinx cats. I know that they're very sweet. They're very cuddly. They're very social. Are they talkative?
Oh, yes, they are.
They love to meow to get your attention.
Yes. If you actually look, I did a post a couple of days ago where Rosie and I literally have conversations with each other. She is extremely vocal and talkative, and they all have their own different personalities. Of course, you having 5 cats, I'm sure you know, they all are their own unique individuals. But I think the best way, if I had to sum it up, it's almost a cross between a cat, a dog, a parrot, and a monkey. That's really the best. They're
Oh, wow.
They are very inquisitive like a cat, like a dog. They're very loyal. And that's the thing, is we do not ever leave them home alone. I would never, ever, ever, ever suggest to somebody who, say, travels a lot or works out of the home. I mean, they need to be around their humans and other pets. They don't do well, solitary, because that would be heartbreaking. They really need that social and that family bond. And they are like monkeys because they get into everything. They are very smart, so much so that they will watch what you do. Say we go to put their food in a place, and they know where we put the food. So we see them pawing at the cabinet later trying to get the food.
That's funny. Dennis does that. He finds a way to get things and open things. And he's my Maine Coon or part Maine Coon.
Oh, okay. Yes. Very, very intelligent. And then like a parrot, extremely talkative. They love to have conversations with you, with each other, with our dog Lucy. They just all the time are talkative. It's important to know that, yes, they do not have fur.
You also said that they're a little more high maintenance than other cats. So I wanted to ask why. And then the only thing I think that I'd miss is I like furry tails on pets. Like my dogs that I've had have always had furry tails. Mm-hmm. So that would be something to get used to. Not a bad thing, just to get used to it, because obviously their tail is hairless. They're all hairless.
Yes. I thought the exact same thing, but honestly, the best way to describe what Rosie feels like is a warm peach. It's like this warm way. It is the most fabulous feeling. And so when you just have a bad day or you're feeling down, and I'm telling you, if you wear sweatshirts or sweaters, I mean, they will curl just right up inside your sweat. And it's like the best. You just can't beat that feeling. Like nothing beats the feeling of a warm Sphinx. Just, it's amazing.
That should be a t-shirt or something.
It really, it's like strange to say, but it is like the best feeling when you're sitting. I'll be sitting and working and I'm have on a sweatshirt and Rosie. And I mean, she tucks herself up in my sweatshirt and I'm just sitting there and, then my husband will say, oh, Sarah, can you do this? I say, oh no, I'm sorry. I can't right now. I've got Rosie on my lap. And we all know that that's a valid reason why you can't get up in this house. Like, no, sorry. We've got the cats on our lap. Can't get up.
That's so cute. What does the care for them entail?
So what happens usually with Sphinxes is they produce a lot of
oil,
which most cats do. I'll let AJ because AJ is literally the expert. So
which will normally, like smooth down a cat's fur and keep it clean. But with Sphinx cats, since they don't have any fur, the oil will just kind of, I guess, clump up in the corners of their skin. And, it can stain furniture. And so you need to bathe them about every week or so, because that will help them stay clean and get rid of all that excess oil that their body doesn't need.
Right. So it's just about knowing when you get a Sphinx. And of course, I thought, oh, well, they don't have hair, so it'll be less fur balls and less grooming. But it's actually more. You have to make sure you keep their nail beds cleaned. The oil will build up in their nail beds and their ears, just anywhere where you see their folds. So making sure, you wipe them down. And like AJ said, we used to bathe them once a week. It's been a little bit cooler with the weather. So now we're stretching it to 2 to 3 weeks. Just, they don't mind baths because we've been bathing them since, forever. But it's just, and also knowing they need it warm. They need to either have sweaters or we have more blankets than probably anybody else should have, but we have blankets and little sweaters for them. And we live actually in a very warm and sunny climate. And so also we do not ever let them, we have a patio area that's out by our pool and it's caged, but we never let them go out in direct sun because they can burn.
I was reading about that they do get sunburn and they can't see outside.
I would also I know some people walk their cats. I would never recommend walking a Sphinx cat. And if you want to take them outside, to use like a cat stroller or like one of those cat backpacks. But I still recommend keeping them inside.
Right. Oh, I've seen a couple people walk their Sphinxes, but they do have them, with sweaters on and things like that, just to keep them safe from the elements. You have to think they don't have that extra layer of protection. And that doesn't mean there's anything wrong. It was just, and it happened back in the 70s. That's how the breed started. It was a genetic mutation. But because they don't have fur, that doesn't mean there's something wrong with them. It's just you have to be aware that, okay, well, they can't go outside in sunlight or else they will burn. And that's
exactly. Tell us one of the funny stories. I want to comment on one. I just saw the picture today that you mentioned. Did you know Sphinx cats are part duck because their feet are webbed? And seeing that little video of, it was Ollie stretching. Then I thought, oh yeah, it does look like a cat. He does look like a cat. Because in most of them, like I said, I think of Sphinx cats as like little magical creatures, because there's only a few of the pictures where I think, oh, looks like a cat. It is a cat, The one where I think it's Rosie in the hooded, I don't know who it is. One's wearing a little like hooded sweatshirt.
Yes.
It was just posted. Just adorable.
Yeah, thank you.
Tell us a funny story about something they did recently.
Oh boy. So they love, and I will say this is one of the cutest things. They love Lucy, our golden retriever. We rescued her when she was about 10 months old. So she was a big dog, and we've had her for 8 years now. So she's getting a little up there in age, not as spry as she once was, but all the cats adore her. They look at Lucy with the biggest heart eyes and just absolutely love her. So what is really funny is Lucy will want to curl up next to us, the humans. And so Lucy goes to lay down and, she's laying in her bed, and all of a sudden Ollie will creep by and he meows very softly, not to wake her up. And he starts rubbing his head all over her and tries to curl up on her. And Lucy just looks up at us like, what is this? What is he doing? And then, a couple minutes later, you'll have Rosie just very slowly, and they do it very slowly. They don't want to get caught. Very slowly walk by Lucy and kind of sniff her nose and sniff her head, and Lucy just lays there like, why do they love me so much? It's like, you just want to hear what Lucy's thinking. They're all like, Lucy, we love you. And she's probably like, oh my gosh, guys, I just want to lay down.
Instead of having cats all over her.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I love that you rescued. All of your Sphinx are rescues?
Well, Ollie and Rosie were just off of classifieds. We wanted to go through our Humane Society.
Chances of a Sphinx cat coming through in a Humane Society is very highly unlikely, and if they do come through, they usually get adopted in minutes.
Yeah, it's very, very rare. I mean, we went pretty much up and down our state calling shelters and things like that. And again, it's not to say there aren't. It's just, again, knowing that the Sphinx breed is higher maintenance, and people might think, oh, these are cool cats and they look so cool, and I want one because it'll make me look cool. And it's more than that. You have to say, well, can I really give them the attention they need? And can I really commit? Because it is a huge commitment to take care of an animal that does need more.
Right. It's like a Sphinx cat is more than just an accessory. They're really something you need to pay a lot of attention to and put a lot of care and time into caring for.
Right. It's not just some, like AJ said, not an accessory to make you look cool. It's a part of your family, and you have to, make sure that you are committed, and knowing that, can I realistically spend the time? And again, not leave them for days on end and think, oh, they'll be fine, because they won't. You really just need to make sure that before adding a Sphinx to your family, that you do research and say, okay, can I run through the checklist and say, am I going to be able to keep up with their grooming? And they do eat considerably more than average cats do, because they have to keep up their metabolism to keep themselves warm. So now you're talking, can I afford to buy, a lot of food? And
my cats eat like pigs. So
okay. So yeah, that's
it almost sounds like when you describe Sphinx cats, like you said, the crosses, they sound, as you're describing the maintenance and everything, like kind of like a dog cat.
Mm-hmm.
They really are.
With a little dog added to it, because from the personalities that you're describing and everything. What is the name of your newest member of your family?
So we've got Ollie and Rosie, and there's Poppy, and then there's Figgy. And of course we have Lucy, our dog. And so that's all of
the newest Sphinx is Ziggy?
Figgy.
Okay. And then I have one more question. What do the colors mean? Like some are gray, some are pink.
Sure. Well, actually, and you were right, Rosie is considered pink, which just means if she had fur, she would be a white furred cat. So if you have a cat with white fur, and for some reason, if you had to take them to the vet and, say have an operation done and they would shave them, their skin color would be pink. And now Ollie is considered blue and pink, which means if he had fur, his fur would almost look like a Russian blue, that dark grayish blue.
Color.
There's also Calico Sphinx. That's Lucy.
Here's somebody talking back there. What is the other type of Sphinx? Calico?
Yeah, there's it's just like a calico cat. There's Calico Sphinxes, and they have this beautiful, just amazing,
stunning colors.
The colors of a calico, but no fur.
There's also black Sphinx cats where they're not really black, but they're this really, really dirt gray. And then if they had fur, they'd be all black.
Right. So pretty much any fur color that you see a cat with can be a Sphinx. You have to say all cats look the same underneath. I mean,
they're really all the same.
All the cats in the world are basically Sphinxes, just wearing coats. And so I think just at the end of the day, having people maybe take a second before they judge and say these just terrible things, that, just to take a second and think, okay, well, wait a minute. All cats look like this underneath, so it's essentially just a cat without its coat on.
That's a good way to put it, because people should think before they judge. And hopefully this educates people out there that didn't think before, and they'll think before they type, before they
right.
open their mouth and say these nasty things. So where can people see pictures of Rosie? What is your Instagram again?
So the Instagram is at This Is Rosie Kitty. And for right now, it's mainly Instagram. AJ had started a TikTok, but, just busy with school and things. We haven't been able to keep up with it. But hopefully, throughout the quarantine and things, kind of hopefully as time goes on, we'd like to maybe start a YouTube video channel just so people can see the kitties and get to see a little bit more of them. But it's just been such an honor. And as weird and cheesy as this sounds, I really do think that the pets choose their humans. And I'm always telling Rosie every single day how thankful that I am that she chose me. So
no, that's so wonderful. And that's so true. I absolutely agree with you. And I think our pets just bring so much to our life.
Yeah,
they really do. They bring happiness and joy and companionship, and they just makes you feel like so happy when you're around your pet that you love very much.
Well, I want to say, AJ, we're getting near the end here, but I want to say I'm very impressed with how you went about telling your mom you want a Sphynx cat, and this is why. And your Instagram site is amazing. There are so many photos and short videos. It's really great. I mean, there's just a lot of information, and I love the pictures. I can never get tired of them. I think I looked through, I don't know how many you have there, but many, many, many. And just looking at the pictures makes me feel better. I can't even imagine being with them, your cats. So
they really are life-changing and amazing. And thank you for saying that.
Thank you. That's so awesome to hear that there's people out there. And, that's honestly that's why there are so many times, and you can ask AJ, where I'm just like, all these the negative comments just make me want to stop because it affects me so much. They're talking about my baby and that hurts. That really hurts, but she says, Mom, but think about the people that Rosie puts a smile on their face. And I'm like, I know you're right. But it's hard to see that sometimes.
Unique is beautiful. They're unique cats. They're very different. I think there's a couple of other hairless breeds, but I don't know what they are. I can't think of them. The Sphynx breed, I think, of hairless cats is the largest, and they're unique other ways too, with their other features. So, right? I mean, yes. Especially today's world, I think unique is beautiful. There's so many different types of people. Mm-hmm. Why not different types of pets? And it's just sad that there's some people that are so narrow-minded.
Yes.
There should be a t-shirt, cats don't only come with fur.
That's right. Yeah. That's so true. It's like, it's really, if you really think about it, they're all hairless underneath. They just are wearing coats. That shouldn't change anything, and I think what I put in my response to that one comment was, just because you may have a pet that falls in the normal spectrum, just like people, what really gives you the right? That doesn't give you the right just because you may look different from somebody else to start, or your pet looks more, quote unquote, normal, to have this judgment against other people's pets or other people. It's just
sad. Well, hopefully everyone listening to our show today will learn something, and some of the people that, I don't know if I have listeners that would make a comment like that. I don't think so, but hopefully, everybody listening can share with other people and so forth. And it just makes people more knowledgeable about the amazing world of Sphynx cats.
We hope so.
Everybody, the Instagram is at This Is Rosie Kitty. I want to thank Sarah and AJ for coming on Cattitude and telling us about your family of Sphynx cats. Thank you guys so much.
It's an honor to be here.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Wow, that was a really fabulous show. So I hope everyone, you learned a little bit more about Sphynx cats. And I want to thank AJ and Sarah for coming on Cattitude and telling us about Rosie, Kitty, and Ollie, and Figgy, and Poppy. And thanks to my producer, Mark Winter, for making me and my guests sound amazing. And everyone, I hope you had learned a lot about Sphynx cats. And please share so we can educate people and so they understand the beauty behind this unusual, unique looking cat. And remember, lose the attitude. Have Cattitude. See you next time.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.